Hi everyone. Today I want to talk to you guys about I don't want to be too dramatic, but a demon food that we've been tricked to eat for breakfast. And this food tends to be camouflaged under happy cartoons and colorful boxes and things that says no added sugar, all real fruits, contains all fiber, etc., etc. This food is cereal. Now, breakfast tends to be a really hectic ordeal, especially if you're working at 9 o'clock in the morning and you have kids and you want to get like an exercise routine in the morning. Mornings are really, really stressful. And so it's normal and natural that we're trying to gravitate and we reach for the most or the easiest item to eat. And so for a lot of people, that's cereal, because literally you pour it in a bowl, you maybe throw in some milk, or you put it in a Ziploc bag and you eat it by the handful as you drive down to work. But it's an easy, quick thing to eat that you don't have to prepare in advance. So I get it. For all of us that work full time and who have a hectic life, cereal seems like a really easy fix, not just for yourself, but also for your children and your family members. However, the packaging is lying to you. However, it's a really, really poor choice for a breakfast. And there's a number of reasons for this, but I'm going to highlight a couple of them. Number one is a lot of cereals are actually very high in sugar. Even the ones that say that they have no added sugar in them actually have a lot of fructose and a lot of cheats, if you will, which I'll go into in a little bit. So eating cereal first thing in the morning, not only that the cereal itself is carbs, there's usually a lot of added sweeteners in it that elevates the amount of sugar that's actually in the food, which then leads to spikes in your glucose levels. Number two, it sets you up really poorly to manage your satiety during the day. Because of those glucose level spikes, you end up being hungry much more frequently at a much closer rate than if you ate something different. Number three, it leads to increased snacking during the day, and this is a effect of number two. So because your glucose levels go up, it affects your ghrelin hormone, which is your satiety hormone, and therefore you end up feeling hungry more often during the day, leading you to eat more, which leads you to gain more weight. It's a really vicious cycle. And then this leads into my next reason, which is it makes you gain weight inadvertently. You might feel full for the first hour or two during the day, but if your breakfast can't hold you feeling full for at least a good 4 hours, it's not doing its job right. And so the glucose levels leads to poor satiety, which leads to overeating, which leads to weight gain. And then my last one is it leads to energy crashes. So because your glucose levels are doing spikes, and then the spikes continue because you're eating more frequently and by snacks. And let's face it, usually when we snack, we grab for a quick, easy fix that can give us a quick boost of energy, which is usually full of carbs. You're doing this crazy yo-yo with your energy all day long. So no wonder you're feeling like you have an energy slump at 3 p.m. So here are a couple of examples of things that they're not telling you, or they're not giving you the full picture when it comes to cereal. So I picked this cereal. It's called Almond Fruit Crunch, and you'll see on the packaging, it looks healthy. You have some pumpkin seeds on the corner. You have some dried cranberries, almonds, dried raisins, I think, as well. And it's gluten-free. It has all these key words and key images that makes me go, oh, this looks like it's a healthy breakfast. But when you look into the actual nutritional facts, I'm going to grab my iPad because I can't remember this completely by heart. But when you look at this, there's actually 12 grams of sugar in this. And if you look at the ingredients, yes, the first ingredient is almonds, which is really good. But the second ingredient is sugar, made up of cane sugar, maple syrup, and coconut sugar. And let me just say it, regardless of the type of sugar that's in there, it could be organic agave sugar. All sugar is processed the same way in your body. And if it's a combination of high fructose on top of it, it's even worse. Now, that's one example. If I go into another one, so this Kashi Go Lean, which says toasted berry crisp, it has plant protein, it's high in protein, it's very high in fiber, all true. But if you look again at the nutritional facts, it actually has 16 grams of sugar in there, which is quite a lot. And then if you look at the ingredient list, the first ingredient is sugars. You can just imagine if that's the first ingredient, what that'll do to your sugar levels. Now I have this other one that's called Vector by Kellogg's. It's got 13 grams of protein, 20 grams of grain, which just means carbs essentially, and then 22 different vitamins and minerals. All right, sounds great. The packaging looks like it's a strong, healthy breakfast choice. When I look at the back, it gives me all of these amino acids, vitamins, minerals. It makes me go, oh, this must be really good for me. However, when I look into the actual sugars, for 1 1/4 cup, we're looking at 10 grams of sugar in there. That's quite a bit. The moment that you add in milk, even if it's skim milk, this skyrockets to 21 grams of sugar. So still not great, but this one's maybe not as bad as some of the other ones. If you look into the ingredients list, the number 3 ingredient is sugars, and this one actually has corn syrup in it. Corn syrup is really, really not good for you. It has a lot of fructose in it, which people don't tell you, but fructose is digested or metabolized in your body the same way as alcohol is. Think about that for a second. All right, so then we go into this one here that's an all bran, which looks great. It looks like it could be really good for me. It says it's very high in fiber, and we all know that fiber is really important. But again, if I zoom in, per cup, we're looking at 26 grams of sugar. That's insane. And then if I look at the ingredients list, again, same thing. Second ingredient is sugar, and you can bet, I will bet money on it, that the sugar that's in there contains high fructose syrup in there. All right, last one that I'm gonna do before I go into the single cereal box that I found at my grocery store that seems okay to eat. So this one here is organic morning, I can never pronounce this word, but muesli, I don't know. But on the box it says no added sugar. All right, great. I look at it, still 23 grams of sugar per cup. And so if I look at the ingredients, same thing here, whole grain wheat, raisins. By the way, raisins contains a lot of sugar. So even though there's no added sugar in there, the fact that the raisins are dried means that there's a lot of sugar in the food itself. All right, so this is all really sad, but let's go into the only one that I found that I was like, oh, this is actually not too bad. And that is Fiber One. I don't know if you guys remember the commercials of Fiber One, but it basically reminds me of Metamucil. And this one, you know, when I look at it, yes, there's some modified wheat starch in there, but there isn't really any added sugar, which is good. And if I look at the carbohydrates, it's only 1 gram per cup, which is fantastic. And there seems to be a lot of vitamins and minerals. However, if you go all the way down to where it starts to talk about its oils, most of the oils in this is based on canola oil, and canola oil is a inflammatory oil as opposed to an olive oil, for instance. So probably the lesser of the evils, but if I had to choose, I wouldn't be putting this in my body first thing in the morning. All right, so that sucked. So if you can't eat cereal in the morning, what can you eat? These are some of my personal favorites. I love to have some pre-prepped egg sandwiches that you can heat really quickly in the microwave or in an air fryer. Hard-boiled eggs with olive oil is really good. 2 to 3 whole eggs with some salt and pepper and a drizzle of olive oil keeps you full for actually hours. Again, hard-boiled eggs with avocado on a slice of toast, also really good for you and really quick to prepare, honestly. Scrambled tofu, if you have a little bit more time, if you want to make an omelet. Scrambled tofu with eggs and spinach or any veggies that you like, and you can even toss it in a wrap. You can prepare this in advance as long as the vegetable is not too soggy. And then last but not least, Greek yogurt with chia seed and potentially some protein powder to boost the protein. But these are all things that you can almost prep in advance and really have it ready to go first thing in the morning without having to worry about eating too much sugar. So this was maybe a little bit of a downer of a video, but it's so important. I think the biggest takeaway is that it's so important for you to read the back of the box, the ingredients list, the nutritional fact, and if the sugar levels are higher than the fiber, put it down. Because even if it says no sugar added or that it has a lot of protein or a lot of fiber, if the ratios are out of whack and your sugar ratios are still way higher than everything else, it'll still spike your glucose levels and it'll still lead you to an energy crash, it'll still lead you to weight gain, and it'll still lead you to eating more than you need. If this video was helpful for you, leave a comment below. I want to hear what you think about cereals or any other breakfast that you tend to eat. I post a video every single Friday, so check back here and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Bye.